Yes, yes. Thank you so much for joining. And today we will be finishing off with a few important notes on India that I was giving you last day. Since your exams, as I told you, are definitely starting from 19th. We had a talk about this. If something can be done, and 1 or 2 days it can be postponed, or a few days it can be postponed, but there'll be no such change. That is why we people are, at a short of time, Asia being the last topic, we will try to finish it as fast as possible. But of course, understanding the concepts are very important. Now, I'm sharing whiteboard, screen share. I am sharing whiteboard. I hope everyone can see my whiteboard.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Good
ma'am.
enough. Good enough. So that if I am writing any point, you people can note it down. Now, what I wanted to tell you all regarding India's, first we are starting with India. Okay. Then I will go to Asia. What happened? Yes. First, I'm starting with India. You can take this as class notes also if you are willing. That is all okay. I have disabled the video. Why, Alebho, you cannot
Yes,
see?
ma'am.
No, ma'am, we
Ma'am, we
cannot turn
cannot
on the
switch on
camera.
our video.
Oh, you cannot switch on your video. 1 minute, 1 minute. Yes, Acha, I have done it. I have done it. Share screen I have disabled. Okay. Okay, start the video I have done. Okay. Hopefully now you people will be able to do this. Okay, so we are starting with India. India's climate, I'm done with. I hope there is no more confusion there, no more problems there. Now, requesting those who did not give the test last day on India to come to my room on Wednesday during the class teacher's time, taking permission from your class teacher or subject teacher or whoever is there during class teacher's time, that is from 8:30, if you do not have any other engagement. Now, India's natural vegetation. We were talking about India's natural vegetation. This is another very important chapter from class 10, which comes as a very important part of your exams. In this, we have already done that natural vegetation in India varies according to rainfall and according to climate. Other factors affecting natural vegetation are soil, you can say the soil type, and all those are other factors that affect natural vegetation. Now, the first type of natural vegetation that we were dealing with, I gave you for montane forests, along with height, vegetation varies. So keep that much in mind. Now, one thing that I wanted to tell you, take this, you can note this down, that is tropical evergreen. For tropical evergreen forest, this is a small important characteristic I'm giving you from class 10's book. Since this is class 10, this you will be doing the very importantly. Well, tropical evergreen forests receive more than 200 centimeter rainfall, that you people are all aware of. So note, in this type of forest, there is no fixed season for trees shedding their leaves. That means this is a type of forest whereby there is no fixed season for shedding their leaves. That is why evergreen. Western slopes of the Western Ghats, the Northeast, whenever you look at them, there is always some greenery in these places. Keep that in mind. That is why this is one, when I ask you, different question will come like this. Differentiate between, or if you visit this place and this place, what do you note between the difference between the vegetation? If I tell you that one of you have visited Mizoram or some kind of place like that in the northeast, and one of you are traveling in western Uttar Pradesh, what do you see as a difference in natural vegetation? One is evergreen, one is dry deciduous. Remember these differences. This way questions can be asked application based, that you are in two places of India, okay, or you have been to one place, your cousin have been to one place. What difference in natural vegetation type do you notice? Table format also questions can come. I'll tell you the question pattern also. You get 7 questions, out of which you attempt 5. Out of these 7 questions, 2 questions will be from atmospheric pressure and wind. 2 questions will be from India, climate, natural vegetation. Sorry, 3 questions will be from India, climate, natural vegetation, and India physical divisions, geographical features combined. And 2 more questions will come from Asia. So 7 questions. Out of 7, you people will be attempting any 5. Am I clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Can you
Okay.
repeat once again?
Definitely, I will repeat. 7 questions. You get 7 questions, right? In exam, out of 7 long questions. I'm talking about long questions. MCQ, so it's a mix and match. Out of 7 long questions that you will get 2 full 10 mark sets from atmospheric pressure and wind. 2 full 10 mark sets from atmospheric pressure and wind. 3 questions will be from India climate, natural vegetation, wildlife, and India geographical features, mix and match. India will be a mix and match part. So I can ask from here also, there also. Like climate, natural vegetation, physiography, that is geographical feature. If I ask you that, where in India do you find in tropical evergreen forests? After that, I ask you, where in South India will you find that? And state 2 characteristics of that mountain range. Like, I was asking in exam. So this type of question. So 2 will be from atmospheric pressure and winds. 3 will be from 3 10 mark sets will be from climate, natural vegetation, wildlife, and geographical features. And 2 question sets will be from Asia. That is 7. So out of 7, you have to attempt any 5. Clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Now it's clear?
Yes,
Good. So tropical evergreen forest, there is no fixed season for shedding their leaves. They will shed their leaves, some shedding of leaves goes on throughout the thing. Another important thing is vegetation is found in mixed strands. What do you mean by mixed strands? This means different types of trees. As I'm checking 7A's project, I'm writing this also, that vegetation is found in layers. Different types of trees are found in the same area. There will be creepers also, climbers also, big trees also, some shrubs, bushes, everything in a mixed way in an area. So vegetation is found in mixed strands. That is, many times you find vegetation in layers. The top layer, the canopy, the undergrowth, that is what is going on underneath. So mix and match. In one place only, vegetation is there in layers. This is another very important characteristics. Mixed variety of plants are found. Understood? Hence, these forests, the evergreen forests, have the maximum variety of trees. These forests thus have variety of trees, or variation in flora and fauna. These forests thus have the maximum variety of trees. The vegetation is many times found in layers. And another important characteristic that I wanted to say is that I'm also writing it down. You will often find that trees have, broad and waxy leaves. Here the leaves are waxy so that it rains a lot, right? Too much of rain does not remain on the leaves. It slides and falls from the leaves. That is why the leaves are usually found in, broad. They are broad and they are waxy in nature. Clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Right.
Yes, ma'am.
Some important trees here are mahogany tree. One important, one of some variety examples of trees are mahogany. Then you have rosewood. Then you have mahogany, rosewood. You can have bamboo trees, rubber trees. Okay, these are some examples of trees that grow here. Along with that, you have, ebony trees. You remember 4 examples, more than enough. There are examples in your book also, that is good enough. So tropical evergreen is clear to everyone, these characteristics?
Yes, ma'am.
The next one is tropical
Yes,
deciduous.
ma'am.
Very important is to know the difference between tropical deciduous and tropical evergreen. Now, tropical deciduous are those areas where the trees will shed their leaves in the dry season. Trees shed all their leaves in the dry season. Means in a year, there is 6 to 8 weeks. In a particular year, there is a time span of 6 to 8 weeks. Very dry summer, very dry winter. The trees, to save water, they will shed all their leaves at the same time. Trees shed all their leaves in the dry season, or, the difference is at the same time, which is not the case with evergreen. This difference you must know. This is very, very important. Here, and another difference is, point number 2 difference is, here in deciduous forest, many a times we find the vegetation in pure strands. What do you mean by pure strands? Pure strands mean one type of plant growing over a big area. Suppose it's a forest that has teak, segun kat, shal. These woods are very much used. So it's like teak. So for a long area, you will find teak trees only, and this does not have so much of vegetation in layers because this region receives comparatively less rain. Evergreen has so much rain that there is thick vegetation. In tropical deciduous, the vegetation is often found in pure strands. Pure strands means, in particular, one type of tree in a big area, covering an area, not that one canopy, then creepers, climbers, bushes, shrubs. That may not be noticed. That is why this is point number 2, which is an important difference, that they are often found in pure strands. Here also, they are, mostly the trees are have hardwood and broad leaves, particularly in wet deciduous regions. Now, very important, they have hardwood and broad leaves. These forests, that is tropical deciduous forests, are you know, they have the kind of trees which are used economically. These forests are very much of economic importance. You can note it down economically. Now, why are these forests economically important? Understand this. Number one, the wood, mainly why it is important is for timber. Timber or wood. That is, the wood from these forests is easy to extract. Why easy to extract? Trees are in pure strands. Suppose I leave you in the Amazon jungle. You know, to reach a particular tree, you have to cut shrubs, bushes, creepers, climbers, this, that, to reach that tree. But here, undergrowth and all is much less. Okay. The region has trees of pure strands. So suppose I want teak to make furniture. In one area, I will find many teak plants, and it is easy to cut down those plants, and it is easy to reach them. That is number one. Number two, which is very important, is in deciduous regions, there are dry seasons. In evergreen regions, it rains continuously. Cutting down of trees becomes very difficult. During when it rains heavily or so, cutting down of trees is quite difficult. Though it's done, I will not say it's never done. It is done. But in deciduous, when there will not be rainfall throughout. During dry days, when it is dry, when there is not much rain, it's easier to cut the trees, and the wood, hardwood obtained from these trees are very good in paper making, furniture making, shipbuilding industries. Ship, boat, all these are very, very important. Some important trees can be, some important trees here can be, one is this one, teak. Have you heard about teak?
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
Teak plant,
Yes.
palm plant. Another one you people definitely know is sandalwood. This one, chandan kat, beautiful smelling. Chandan kat, sandalwood.
Yes.
Sandalwood, you know, in cosmetics industry, it is often used in cosmetics industry. Sandalwood has many purposes. Then teak is used in house construction, wood of you know, wooden floors, this, that we make. So these plants here that we are talking about, you know, they are very, very economically viable. That is why tropical deciduous forest, the two reasons, again, number one, they are found in pure strands. Hence, suppose I want teak, then I will get many teak plants easily in one area. Another reason is that, number two, which is very important, these areas receive a little less rainfall. Unlike equatorial forest where it rains a lot, these areas will get a little less rainfall. Keeping that in mind, during dry times, it is easier to cut down, do lumbering in these areas. Am I clear to everyone? Another tree that you can write down is this one. Shimul tree. So 4 examples are good enough. Are you clear?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I
Yes,
clear
ma'am.
the third one?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, wait. Mm, wait, how to do that? Clear. Clear all drawings. Now, number 3 that I wanted to go ahead with is tropical thorn. Nothing much to say about that. Thorn forest, I don't have a lot to say about. Only thing that I wanted to show is I hope you all know the characteristic of the trees. Characteristic of the trees is thorny leaves. Okay. Why are leaves converted to thorns? To
Ma'am,
reduce,
to reduce the rate of
Rate
transpiration.
of
very
evaporation,
good.
transpiration.
To reduce the rate of
I'm just spelling it.
to reduce the rate of water loss through transpiration. Reduce the rate of water loss through transpiration and save maximum water for the plant. Here, where is the water stored? And they have thick fleshy stems for this reason. The water is stored in the stems. Think about a cactus plant. If you imagine a cactus plant will always have a thick stem and thorns coming out from it. So they have thick fleshy stems. Water to store water. Water is stored there. Why? If I ask you and give reason why so, because these plants are found in very dry climates. Am I clear to everyone?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. Another thing that you can note down about this areas is that yes, they also often have thorny leaves, and you can also add their leaves are waxy. Again, they have waxy leaves. At times they can have waxy leaves. Acha. Another last characteristic is that they have long roots. Why do you think they have long roots?
Ma'am, to
For
get
food.
as
So
much
that
water as
we
they
can
can.
get the
As much.
groundwater.
To
Yes.
reach groundwater
better.
level. To reach now, it is a dry area. You have to explain this way that since these plants are found in a dry area, the groundwater is deep down. To reach that groundwater level, the roots are often long so that they can extract water from there when it does not rain for a long span of time. This is one thing. Here again, important trees, examples of important trees are, one is cactus. You all already know. I'm not writing cactus anymore. You can write babul. Babul tree is one. Then another one is khoy.
Some date palm.
Tell.
Some date palm.
Date palm, yes, in some areas you can say. With respect to India, we don't find so much. In some, foreign countries, because where the climate is, temperatures are a little bit different, date palm is not a bad example. But when it comes to India, we rarely see date palms. Better
Yes,
examples
ma'am.
are babul, khoy, but date palm you can write. Yeah, let's write date palm. It's not that date palms are not found. Date palms are often found. Not found means it's not very common, like California and all will have all date palm trees. But date palm is very good example. Example is correct example. And you can find another one, that is bear. Bear. Have you heard bear? Bear is a type of small plant, that
Yes,
small
ma'am.
thing. They make bear ki chutney and all those from there. They take the fruits, they get everything. Another very common one at times seen is neem. Even neem is a big plant, at times giving shade in desert areas. You can write down any 3 or 4. That is good enough. So that is thorn forest. Very important. This another thing that is now coming to this one, tidal. Tidal forests, already you people know, of course, they are found in delta regions. Now, two things very important about tidal trees that many of you have written. They have breathing roots, or you can write pneumatophores. They are pneumatophores. Do you know the spelling? PNEU.
MATOPHORS.
Yes, they are pneumatophores. Pneumatophores are roots coming out of the ground to breathe, roots coming off the ground to obtain oxygen because they are found in tidal areas. Because they are found in tidal areas, that is why what happens is that the groundwater level is very high. The groundwater level is very high. Often the roots are underwater for a long time. Then the plant cannot breathe. Even roots need air, oxygen. The roots are in very much need of air and oxygen. To get that air and oxygen, the roots often come out. The roots often come out. So this is one very important thing. These forests are very dense forests. There is one more characteristic of the roots over here. Yes, that is often the root system often
Ma'am, roots are tangled with amongst
very
each
good.
other.
It's so tangled.
Excellent.
Ma'am,
The
to
roots are
sustain the force
tangled.
of the tides.
Very, very good. Absolutely perfect answer. Tangled. Tide water is coming, tide water is going. Tide water is coming, tide water is going. You imagine you visit Puri Digha at a beach. Waves coming, hitting, and when it goes away, doesn't the sand from your feet also go away? Here also, same thing will happen. Here also, same thing will happen when, high tide water comes. High tide water will come, and when it goes away, it will try to do the work of erosion so that the trees do not get eroded and all. They are holding on to each other through the roots. They hold on to each other. Many trees found in one area, and their roots, spread out, and they get tangled. Then those during high tide, low tide water movement, if the speed is also very high, they will not erode, they will not wash away the plants. The plants will survive. Am I clear with the reasoning?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Because one thing is that, the reason is that the region has tides. Why? The region has tides and the soil is soft. Always it's soft. Why is it soft? Always dipped in water. So much of water. You will see watery mud is very soft. Now, that is one reason why, the roots are tangled so that they cannot wash away during tidal effect. That is one very important thing. Of course, examples from here at Sundari. Sundari trees are found. You have Keura jal. Do you know Keura jal is put in making biryani?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Keura trees are
Mango.
found. Keura, Sundari. There is another tree called Hintal. Hin. Yes, Hintal. These are varieties of trees found here. Many of the trees, woods are used for making boats. Anything. Oh, one more point I have forgotten. The trees are the trees are tolerant to salt water or have tolerant towards salt. Tolerant to salt. Okay, the trees are tolerant towards salt. They can survive in salty things. These are some important things. Apart from this importance of forest, climate change, reduce global warming, increase the, in the water cycle, that is, it causes rain through transpiration, it adds water vapor. All these points are known to you. Anything you write, it's accepted. One concept last that I wanted to tell you all about is social forestry. What is social forestry? Now, what are the initiatives that are taken to protect forests? Of course, raising awareness. Of course, another thing is, government policies. If government says, don't cut trees. Now, this is one thing which is very common in terms of both, that is, in terms of wildlife also and forests also. Making of national parks, wildlife sanctuaries, forest reserves. Here you always have two things. One is a core area. Core area is always at the center of the forest. Those are areas which have the most variety of plants and animals, and it is absolutely prohibited. It is absolutely prohibited to do any kind of hunting, cutting down of trees in those areas. This is not for class notes, I'm just telling you. So core area is very, very important, a place. Apart from that, you have an external area, a boundary. Okay, in those areas, people with permission can cut down selective trees, use the wood for lumbering, use the wood in as fuel. They can make forest-based, they can collect forest-based products, this, that. But this is a very big way of protecting wildlife and protecting special trees. Why protecting special trees? Because when the government is saying this is illegal, that means if you do hunting or cut down trees on those regions, you can be put into jail. This is a very big way of forest and wildlife protection both. How can it be beneficial? Definitely, it will help save them, save the environment. Along with that, as I told you, in the core area, the core center, you can't do anything. But in the outside areas, you can collect forest products. You can use them for various purposes that is allowed. This can bring some employment to people. Last but not the least, tourism is a very important way of economically boosting these regions. Social forestry, I explained in class also, is a way whereby the people of that area who live close to the forest, it's a government initiative and all, they are told that you participate and save the forest. In return, you can collect forest products. You can use, like Sundarbans, protect it. You collect honey from the forest and sell it in the market. Very common. You collect we will not do mountain forest. I just told you last day in class only. See that along with height, vegetation changes. That is the most important point of mountain forests. That one I have more or less said, because other than that, of course, mountain forests, nothing very important is there. What I already told you, with altitude, how vegetation changes. Alpine trees, fir means, at the base of the forest, if I draw a mountain, at the base you will find deciduous. Above 1500 to 3000, it is alpine, that is coniferous trees. And above that, above 3000 meters, it is always a
Shrubs
dry
and bushes.
region. So it's very cold and dry often. So, some bushes, lichens, mosses are only found. Know about the Forest Research Institute at Dehradun and their work. Know about the Wildlife Protection Acts, tiger protection, then, elephant, those things. India is a vast land with variety of wildlife. Of course, the wildlife varies from place to place. And remember one thing, that is, these national parks and these wildlife sanctuaries, how are they important environmentally?